Cancers, welcome to your reading for November and December that will take you to the end of the year. Do listen to your masculine and feminine signs as they represent different aspects of yourself that we need to bring into harmony and balance at this time. They could obviously also represent your counterpart or potential love interest, so do listen to those as well as your moon and rising sign. So at the bottom of the deck, we see that you're going through some immense transformation, shedding things that no longer serve you to rebirth a new self in the form that you imagine, your dream future manifested in the physical, bringing that into fruition. And this is Metatron, Archangel Metatron in the Magician in this deck, handing you Metatron's cube, handing you the Holy Grail, which represents your truth, your divine purpose in this life. And this is this new beginning, this new foundation that you're stepping on, this new path of recreating your life in the physical material world in the way that you envisage it. Having shed these former shallow aspects of yourself that are no longer serving you, aspects of yourself that have been hidden, childhood wounds, emotions that have been repressed coming to the surface. And so you're really working deeply now to look at those things and to recognize how they've been holding you back, and really breaking through to shed those aspects of yourself and be able to rebirth a new future in the way that you imagine that to be. So I'm going to pull some clarifiers together with as I go along the reading. So in the position of energy to let go, we have the Hanged Man, clarified by the Seven of Fire, Seven of Wands. And in the position of energy to embrace, we have the Devil, clarified by the Mother of Air, the Queen of Swords. And the energy to yet to come is the Two of Swords, clarified by the Page of Swords. A lot of sword energy coming through for several of you now. And the Two of Swords as the clarifier at the bottom, which is a repeat card. And a Tower moment. The Moon appears again. And the Empress. Beautiful. Bottom of the deck. Ten of Swords. So there's this real sense, as mentioned, of a completion. Death is really about completion. Something is coming to a head. A way of being that no longer serves you is falling apart. A way of managing your emotions, of keeping things hidden, keeping things in the dark, not being true to yourself. And there's this real sense of a battle that you're going through at this time, and taking time out. You've been taking time out to go within and try and understand where this is rooted, where this has been coming from. So there's, not a strong message not to give up. There's this sense of strength and endurance through this experience that you're going through. But in the position of energy to let go is the Hangman. So there's a sense that you've already had that period of time of contemplation, of going within, of healing, of trying to understand the process, looking at where your answers lie, what the truth means for you. And there's really a sense that this place of being suspended in limbo, this time of rest and contemplation, is now ready to be left behind you. It's time to move forward and leave behind this annihilation of your former self. It's literal, complete destruction of all the things that have not enabled you to be who you really are. And so there's this huge, huge shedding and Tower moment where you decide to step into your truth with the Queen of Air. You're on this new path of mastering who you are, who is the Cancer divine feminine in her full potential, in stepping into her power. And so really embracing the shadow work, looking at those childhood wounds or emotions that have been repressed, perhaps from childhood experiences, and really bringing them to the surface so that you can really master your wounds and recognize them as your strengths, and integrate them as part of who you are, in a more open way, shedding light on those hidden repressed aspects of yourself so that you're literally rebirthing a new you, the full potential of who you are in the physical manifested, bringing down your divine gifts, your divine potential. In this new path with the Page of Swords, you're really stepping into your truth and out of this indecision where you felt quite torn and pulled between perhaps other people's thoughts and ideas of what you should do and how to move forward. And so there's a sense of really fighting yourself, or also overcoming your own doubts and fears. Perhaps this isn't just outside of you. There's a lot of a sense of feeling torn within yourself as well. So this is about being very proactive. The Page of Swords is about taking action for your future and building this new foundation and creating this nurturing environment in which this new self can flourish and grow. And so in the overall environment, we have the Five of Discs, and in the energy to receive, the Page of Cups, and the energy to give, the Eight of Wands. So with the Five of Discs, so there's really a sense that you've been carrying this burden, and it's kind of, you're kind of halfway through the challenge, and there's a real sense of not giving up, of looking within your heart, because that is really where the answers lie. So it's sort of a message that you're still in a place of lack, of not believing in yourself, of feeling like there's something missing. And really the message here is to go within, to get out of your mind and go into your heart. And potentially for some of you, this could be an offer of love coming in. But I really feel that this is you letting go of this burden that you've been carrying and actually offering love to yourself, offering a new path which is based in self-love and your own truth, your inner guidance that is coming from your heart. And so this is clarified again with the Ace of Air. So more swords. You've got the Queen of Swords and the Page of Swords, and now the Ace of Swords. So very much Page of Swords and Page of Cups. I mean, huge new beginnings, and clarified by the Strength card. So this is again about new beginning and building a new foundation, which is you being true to yourself, being true to your emotions and your heart, and expressing yourself in a way that is authentic, in a way that you haven't done before. And energy to receive, balancing this masculine energy that could be at the root of what this is. This could be the signal. The grandfather is the emperor in the traditional deck. So there is a potential message here that there's some paternal energy, some masculine energy that needs to be healed from perhaps a childhood wound, or just integrated, that's out of balance within yourself. This also points to two counterparts with the Emperor and the Empress both appearing in the reading. There is this sense of union not only with yourself but attracting this love. With the Page of Cups, there is this offer of love. You have this twice, not only for yourself, but I really feel that as you put this energy, this nurturing energy into yourself, you start this new beginning where you're more open to love and allowing that energy to come in. And it comes in quite swiftly as a result of you speaking that truth. You find that that energy is going to come in quite swiftly. This masculine, stable, slow-moving, reliable person that is going to be very drawn to you being vulnerable as well. That's really a message here. So again, this balance, there's this sense that you've needed to be strong for quite a long time. And the lesson here also is that there's a lot of strength in vulnerability, allowing friends to help you, allowing others to help you, to carry you, to just kind of surrender in your truth, but also allow yourself to be carried, to be held, and particularly by this masculine energy that perhaps you've been avoiding, or has just been out of balance at this time. So for the overall lesson, we have the Justice card. For some of you, this could be a calling to go to Egypt. I know quite a few friends who have been. I know I am. But this is really in this deck about knowing yourself, creating your reality, becoming your greatest potential of who you are, and weighing your heart. What is your truth? Because there are two truths, the truth of the body in the physical material world, and then there's the truth of your soul, your higher purpose, what you're feeling called to. And so there is a sense of karmic justice here, a completion of cycles, that's evident with the Tower, the Death card, the Ten of Swords. There's really a sense of shedding things that no longer serve you, and the karmic cycles being completed and bringing you to this place of justice and completion, where you start to reap the rewards of this work that you've put on yourself, reaping the rewards of the abundance that comes towards you when you start to be true to yourself. So the sevens are very much about your card, the Chariot, is the Cancer card, and that really is about reining in, balancing in your shadow and light aspects and integrating those, transmuting those to create something new, this new foundation. And eights are about conquering yourself. Now in the traditional deck, 8 is the Strength card, and you did get that as well. But in this deck, 8 is the Justice. But for me, they're very connected in the sense of it's really about your knowing yourself and stepping into your potential. But now is where the great work begins. So having completed this cycle of conquering the outside world, the eights are really about conquering yourself, conquering your divine truth, your heart, the truth that lies in your heart. And this really is what opens this new path here that you have with the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups and the page of all these pages, and so many new beginnings here. And it's really about a new path now towards your higher self, towards enlightenment, where you're going to be able to look in the mirror and see yourself with no embellishments and no masks. And that's tough, but when you see yourself clearly, you're going to find that the outside world is going to be clear for you as well. And when all those illusions and projections fall away, you go through this internal process of reconciliation and purification and transformation. And that's really where you become who you are, who you really are. I mean, just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful messages here. And I'm going to pull out a final guidance card from the Osho deck and see if there's any further messages that can support at this time. Understanding. So I mean, with all these cards, the Tower and the Death, and there's a real sense of an awakening that you're really reaching an understanding specifically about yourself, a deep inner knowing, accessing who you really are and what that truth means to you. So this relates to the Page of Cups. Interesting, 62. So this is the equivalent card as well. So let's see what the deeper message here is about this new beginning in love and loving yourself. You are out of jail, out of the cage. You can open your wings and the whole sky is yours. All the stars and the moon and the sun belong to you. You can disappear into the blueness of the beyond. Just drop clinging to this cage. Move out of the cage and the whole sky is yours. Open your wings and fly across the sun like an eagle. In the inner sky, in the inner world, freedom is the highest value. Everything else is secondary, even blissfulness and ecstasy. There are thousands of flowers, uncountable, but they all become possible in the climate of freedom. The bird pictured on this card is looking out from what seems to be a cage. There is no door, and actually, the bars are disappearing. The bars were an illusion, and the small bird is being summoned by the grace and freedom and encouragement of others. It's spreading its wings, ready to take flight for the very first time. The dawn of a new understanding that the cage has always been open, and the sky has always been there for us to explore, can make us feel a little shaky at first. It's fine and natural to be shaky, but don't let it overshadow the opportunity to experience the light-heartedness and adventure on offer right there alongside the shakiness. Move with the sweetness and gentleness of this time. Feel the fluttering within. Spread your wings and be free. Beautiful. And these white doves messages really of the peace and beauty within of that feeling of freedom when you can just be yourself. Beautiful message, Cancer. Wishing you so much love. Till the next time.